The sirens were louder than dreams in Brooklyn. 12-year-old Jayla Evans had mastered the rhythm of survival. She used to count the sirens at night like lullabies: one for hunger, two for fear, three for the things she didn't yet understand. She slept on a pull-out couch in a one-bedroom apartment that smelled of bleach and old radiator heat. Her mother, Tanya, was a janitor at the downtown courthouse, working back-to-back shifts and still coming home with barely enough for groceries. They had no cable, no microwave, and sometimes no heat. But they had each other. Jayla walked miles every day to a school where the ceiling leaked, where fight broke out in the cafeteria, where some teachers showed up just to mark attendance. But in the corners of that place, especially in the library, she found escape. Books became her friends. She'd sit cross-legged between the shelves and whisper stories under her breath. Biographies of inventors, astronauts, freedom fighters, people who mattered. And then, on a rainy Thursday afternoon, she came home to tragedy. Her mother sat still at the kitchen table, her usually brisk, hard-working frame now hunched like a question mark. A wrinkled pink eviction notice trembled in her hand. "We have 2 weeks," she said flatly, not looking up. Jayla stared at the peeling walls, the cracked dishes in the sink, the blanket that served as a curtain. She could hear the thump of her heartbeat, the creak of the floor beneath her own feet. "We'll figure it out," Jayla whispered, though her voice cracked under the weight of a truth she couldn't fix. That night, the rain slapped hard against the windows. Her mom cried in the bathroom with the door closed. Jayla sat on the couch, knees pulled to her chest, thinking of all the ways life had shrunk them. Then she remembered the flyer in her homeroom class, the district essay contest. The winner would get a full scholarship to an elite private school in upstate New York, with housing. Jayla found it buried in her backpack, the paper smudged and wrinkled. The deadline, 48 hours. She had no laptop, no internet, no desk. But she had a story. After school the next day, she went straight to the public library and signed up for the computer wait list. When her turn finally came, she only had 45 minutes. She wrote fast, fingers shaking as she poured out everything: what it meant to grow up invisible, to be hungry and hopeful, to watch your mother wither under the weight of quiet desperation. "My name is Jayla Evans. I am more than my zip code." She hit submit seconds before the system logged her out. Then came the waiting. 3 days. 4 a week. Jayla's mother packed their belongings in trash bags. Neighbors avoided eye contact. School lunches became her only meals. On the 9th day, they had no choice but to go to a shelter. They waited outside for a bed that might not come. And then the phone rang. Jayla's mother fumbled it with shaking hands. "Hello?" She listened. Then her eyes widened, filled with disbelief. And then tears. She looked at her daughter. "Jayla, baby, you won." Jayla stared at her, blinking slowly. The words didn't make sense at first. Then they did. She collapsed into her mother's arms, sobbing, for once, not from sadness, but release. The next morning, a black car with tinted windows pulled up in front of their apartment building. The driver opened the door and handed Jayla a folder. Admissions welcome packet. As they drove away, the city blurred behind her. Graffiti-covered walls, rusted fences, broken sidewalks, and slowly gave way to green fields and winding roads. Her new school sat like a castle atop a hill. For the first time in her life, Jayla had her own bed, her own desk, her own future. That night, lying between crisp white sheets, she listened. There were no sirens, just the quiet hum of possibility. And from then on, every step she took, onto classroom floors, through open doors, across graduations. Stages echoed louder than the noise of her past. They were the sound of her steps, the sound of hope. Jailer's story teaches us that our beginnings do not define our destinies. It highlights the resilience of the human spirit, the power of hope in the face of hardship, and the importance of using our voice to create change. Jayla's journey reminds us that even in poverty, with courage, determination, and a willingness to try, we can rise above our circumstances. It also honors the silent strength of parents who sacrifice daily and shows that sometimes opportunity isn't given. It's claimed through bold action, faith, and relentless effort. So tell me, do you agree? Leave your thought in the comment section. Like, share, and follow for more.